some action. Need some action if we want to take our love away from here. We need a living passion to believe in, burning hearts and a breath.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Overwatch All-Star Brawl 2, presented by Star Esports. Hope everyone's having a good night. We got ourselves a double elimination tournament dedicated to the Overwatch Tier 3 community. Today, we got some really big matches coming up. It's going to be Citizens versus Dismissed in the winner's bracket. I believe this is round 2, and this is game 1. My name is Sci-Fight, and I'm going to be joined by my co-caster, who is always interfering with my cast. It's Noonie.
Interfering. I just make your cast better. No, I'm just kind of like that. I'm that spice you put into your really, really, really bland rice. That rhymes. Man. That rhymed, dude. I'm rap god now. Smile.
I'm actually super excited for today's match. We got some really big tier 3 teams here. I actually say, like, these are some of the best teams in tier 3 Overwatch right now, especially with the meta the way it is. We're going to see a lot of Sigma and Orisa, but you're going to see a lot of stuff that you haven't seen before, and it's going to be done really well. Looking forward to both these teams. Both these teams have a pretty substantial history, just Mr. Fairly new to the scene, and it will be exciting to see how they do. They actually 3-0'd Winnable in the first round of this tournament, which is a really big thing. Winnable actually made 4th place in last month's tournament, and that wasn't a joke. That was not a fluke at all. They came in through the winner's bracket, won a ton of matches, ended up dropping to the losers bracket in to the first place team, and made their way all up to 4th place. We won't be getting an interview today with any players from any teams, but we'll make sure to try and get a player of the winning team when the game is over. Some really good stuff coming out. We will be starting off with Lijiang Tower. Really excited to see some more control. This is often one of the first opening maps in scrims and in tournaments. It's always a very scrappy map. You see some Mei on the control center point. You see a lot of Thara on the gardens, but I definitely think we'll be seeing Sigma Orisa come out in spades. Jimmy, what do you think?
I definitely think Sigma Orisa is going to be the thing that everyone's been running lately on Lijiang, so it's definitely something we're going to see. There's no doubt about that.
Will be Citizens on the blue side and Dismissed on the red side. We'll be starting shortly once we get approval from the teams. But yeah, I am so excited. Just want to get into these matches and start casting some amazing Overwatch. Now, Dismissed, we talked about, they're fairly new to the scene. They started a couple of months ago, coming in really hot into this tournament. I think the meta is kind of in their favor. Citizens has been around for about a year and a half, I believe.
Pretty long time.
They've stuck to their core roster of Default and Ankro and Salieri for quite a bit, and they've always had some really good results in these tournaments. They're always a team to watch out for, and you really can't get any better than this right now.
Yeah, definitely. These teams are just going to be running hot into Lijiang, and I just can't wait. This is going to be some big game. Red team's loading up on Lijiang. A beautiful, beautiful map. I love the scenery on this. What about you? What do you think about it?
I'm okay with Control Center. I think it's a really cool map for Reinhardt and Mei. It's very closed in, unlike Gardens, which has a really high skybox. This one does, but the walls are very cramped, leading to a lot of scrappy fights. Reaper was always good on this map. You have the high ground that not a lot of teams take advantage of, because it's not a very wide high ground, and also it is quite hard to get to. It takes a bit of time, so you mostly see just people playing through the main pathway here, coming out onto the point off the spaceship and then onto the actual control center. 5 seconds in, it looks like we will be seeing Sigma Orisa, and they will be going the Doomfist Reaper route with all of these DPS picks. Similar support picks as well. It'll be the Moira Lucio. Everyone trying to get onto these meta comps right here.
Definitely, Doomfist is something we've been seeing run so much lately, and it's for a good reason. Doomfist is just insane on these kind of points. Close quarters, punching everyone everywhere, uppercutting down, and just going straight for those punches is what you really need, and that's what everyone's doing at them. It's looking for one good punch to take someone out of this fight and just make their team a little less stronger. It seems we have Citizens just looking for the punch. Ooh, Afro does find it on the Sayumi, however. Default doesn't find onto Faded. JD does find Default, however, so now it's looking all right for Mist at the moment. Citizens having a bit of a hard time trying to get this pick up here. Afro looking for another punch, gets him all the way to the side. And it's looking very scrappy for both teams, but look clean for the Mist, however. They do have that from Potion, they do have the Coalescence. Going for the Meteor Strike, coming in from Aggro. Finds it on a JD as well. Another Meteor Strike, my god, everyone's just going straight down for these. Default finds a pick on the Faded. Citizens looking very good on this point, however.
Yeah, it looks like Citizens will be able to cap. Bit of a long, drawn-out fight from both sides. Really nice pickoffs coming in from Ankro, even though Potion had the first Coalescence. It just wasn't aggressed upon, and unfortunately, they don't get the point with that. Even with the initial couple of pickoffs, Potion has the Coalescence again. Gonna use that here.
Coalescence, Beat Drop, and Death Blossom coming in from Default. He gets taken down by Cry, however. It seems like it's just looking very good now for Dismiss. That before Citizens seemed to have a foothold on the point, but Dismiss just came in with full force and just cleaned them up. Cry getting too.
Yeah, really nice display of ultimates. Potion has been really good about getting their ultimates really quickly. Those Coalescences are definitely game-changing, and what you're going to be seeing in these next fights is Ankro and Afro on these Doomfits trying to take out the Moira as they're coalescing. You want to be able to CC these Moiras down, stop the Coalescence. Fight happening already.
Coming in from the Orisa. You have Gravitic Flex once again tossing everyone into the sky and bringing them right back down. Coalescence and this damage booster could be huge coming in from the side of Citizens. They go for the punch from Dismiss. Purple getting a two-piece right off the back on the Faded Cry. Purple getting three actually onto Noctis as well. Making this look very... Purple getting three more. My god.
Really good plays from them. A lot of ults being committed from Citizens, though. You have the damage boosted Death Blossom coming in for this next fight for Dismissed. Very even fight overall. Just need to keep Cry alive. He's been dying often in these team fights. Everyone has been focusing him. Really good focus from Citizens up and coming here. Here's the damage boost here. Coalescence as well. Let's go.
This is looking very good for Dismissed. Ooh, in the backline, however. Potion does get that pick on the purple, but Afro gets Ankro. JD finds a pick on the Default as well. It's looking very good for Dismissed at the moment. They might be able to take this back from Citizen. Cry does get the pick on the Camboyo.
Pretty fairly good stall coming in from Citizens. They were able to accrue a bunch of ultimates there, have the Gravitic Flux for the next fight, as well as the Coalescence. This could be fight-winning ultimates. They just need to be able to use them wisely and get a group up on Dismissed here. Dismissed need to kind of spread out onto the point, delay this next team fight as much as possible. They do have the Meteor Strike. Here we go.
Ooh, here comes the Gravitic Flux Beat Drop as well, and we still have the Coalescence coming in from Sayumi. This is looking very good for them, however. They have a lot of heals, but another Gravitic Flux comes from JD, tosses him straight to the ground, and you still have that pick. Aggro finds it on Afro. Ooh, it's looking very clean for them. Citizens, they did use the Death Blossom, however, coming from Default, but Cry has his ready, locked and loaded, and he uses it here. Doesn't find much value, but they do have the damage boost in as well on the side of Citizens.
Ooh, Default popping off, though.
Ooh, getting two pieces here. That's a good two picks for him. Everyone seems like Dismiss might have this point. There's three up from Citizen's side, but it looks like that Doomfist is just beating the ever-loving crap out of him.
Yeah, you gotta keep that Reaper alive. Default doing a lot of work here already. Has the
His sustainability. Coalescence coming in once again on the side of Citizen.
Are able to cap out at 99%. They let them cap going in for this last engagement here. A lot of ultimates being used on either end. Just have the Death Blossom on Default side here. For Citizens, they need to make this work.
Yeah, they just kind of want to get the regroup here. Noctis with the beat drop error. To save it up. Default gets a three-piece with the Death Blossom. Doesn't even have time on the side of Noctis to get that beat drop down. seems like
Holy
Citizens at this
moly,
point.
what a turnaround. Literally coming from 0 ultimates. Amazing Death Blossom from Default is going to win them that point. And there's no other way about it. Default just won that point. It's single-handedly. Really nice play coming from him, making sure to take into account that the abilities coming out from Dismiss. Dismiss being punished for their lack of shielding abilities at that point, and Default took advantage of that. Ended up with a 3K Death Blossom there. Got to lead them to what will be an advantage coming to Li Zhang. We'll be headed into Night Market now. Cry will be swapping onto the Symmetra for some additional shield damage. Just need to make sure to keep him alive. Afro going to be moving to the Mei. Little interesting pick. I would have rather seen something like this on Control Center, but we'll see. Reaper, already that huge positional advantage with the Reaper Doomfist.
Ooh, teleporter already going to the high ground, and
Wow.
Dismiss is already on that point. Citizens going to have to fight for priority of that. Actually,
Big turrets, too.
insane. Big teleporter, and the turrets are going to be actually incredible. The Metron on this patch especially is just so damaging against this kind of like playstyle. As well, they're being aggressive and holding these doors so well. You have Anko going in the background, trying to find a little bit of that punch. But you just can't find a little bit of that cup of it. They seem like they're going to be holding the corner here, however. Citizens do set up. They have the turrets above them. They need to take them down. Potion already if the Coalescence pops it off. Anko finds a pick on the Cry. Faded down south. It looks like a very clean cleanup coming in from Dismiss.
Yes, looks still even. Your DPS is out of the way in Symmetra. Looks like Citizen's going to be able to clean this up. And this was what I was talking to you about. It takes Symmetra a little bit of time to start ramping up the damage in those fights. Symmetra is getting a bit of a nerf, but now, even on live, the maximum damage that Symmetra can do is 180 damage per second, which, like, one-shots someone very quickly. It melts people down. Fortunately, Ankro just such a good Doomfist that they're able to take the Symmetra out of the fight super quick. Cry gonna swap back onto the Reaper. We will be seeing more Doomfist. A beautiful Gravitic Flux.
Gravitic Flux toss him in the air, but remember, Lucio can drop that beat mid-air, so it kind of helps, Noctis kind of helps negate any damage that would have came from that. Here comes the Meteor Strike from Ankro. You do have Default, who still has the Death Blossom ready to go. Still looking for that Meteor Strike. China brings it back, punches him straight onto the point. You do have the damage booster coming in from Faded. You have the Coalescence as well coming in from Potion. All both being traded. You do have Default, who goes down with the Death Blossom, so now they can't even use that for this fight. Seems like Dismiss is going to pick this point back right up.
Clean fight win, but ult advantage going to Citizens. They're going to be able to have the Death Blossom and both their support ultimates to try and get onto this point very quickly. Lisa Stall coming up from Citizens. They're able to take 40% of the controls point here. There we go.
Gravitic Flux coming in from JD. The beat drop gets dropped midair once again. But here's Default with his Death Blossom locked and loaded. Finds two. Purple also finds one on the Cry. This is looking very good for Citizens. They team wipe.
Yeah,
all
they
of
just
Dismiss.
completely destroyed Dismiss there. Another really good Death Blossom. Taking advantage of those lack of abilities. You can definitely take advantage of the way that Orisa and Sigma play. You know, their abilities have very long cooldowns. So if you manage to bait those out beforehand, Gravitic Flux comes out, Shield's coming out, you get behind them, and you Death Blossom. It's super easy pickings.
Definitely.
Oh, no.
Death Blossom has so much damage. Noctis takes down Default. Oh, that's not too good. If you're on Citizen side at the moment, you really need to find a way to hold this point. I think that Gravitic Flux is their answer. Tosses that one to the sky, brings them right back down. Here comes the Meteor Strike coming in from Afro. Finds a fine one, finds one on Camboyo. Both punches and swings. Afro finds two right there. JD finds another two. Dismiss are holding it, taking it. Afro finding so many picks, at least 4 on there.
They didn't use too many ultimates either, which is really good. Unfortunately, stuck at 89% for Citizens, meaning that the last fight, if Citizens are going to be capped, they will take the point almost assuredly. A lot of ultimates on Dismiss side to play around with. They just can't let Default pop off like that again. And they did pick him off for the first fight. Watch the flank coming out from Default here.
Taking down Cry, you still have the damage booster coming in. You have the Meteor Strike, lots of ultimates being tossed into the pot here. from both sides of the team. You don't have Cry, but they do take down Default, however. They don't have Cry if it's Death Blossom. That's fine. If you take down the enemy team's Reaper, you're going to be okay. So lost theirs 69% on the Default. It seems just kind of like a trading of damage, trying to knock down a shield. You do have Afro going in for the punch, goes back to his team. And they're playing this doorway pretty well at the moment. They have the Gravitic Flux going in, toss them in the air, toss them straight back down. JD finds the pick on the purple. Cry has the Death Blossom ready to go. Are they going to need it for this fight is the question.
It looks like not. This will be coming down to the last fight. Still just a couple of ultimates on either side. Citizens now have an advantage, but they need to be able to touch point, and Dismiss have the positional advantage when it comes to getting onto this point. Salieri had swapped to the ball. You won't be seeing that double shield composition coming out. They have touched.
That Gravitic Flux, they toss here. Default with the Death Blossom. This could be what wins them the fight. With the beat drop, Death Blossom goes in, but he gets booped away from Dismiss. Ooh. Cry pops back with his own Death Blossom, finds one onto Default. JD finds Sayumi, and Afro finds the pick on the purple. Ooh. Are we going to be able to get a 1-to-1?
It looks like we will.
That is the case.
Dismiss doing a really good job fighting for that initial point and definitely making sure that Default gets shut down on Night Market. Will be going to Garden for that tiebreaker point on Lijiang Tower. Still 0-0, but this, you can tell this series is going to be good just from the maps and the gameplay that we're watching. There is so much good focus coming out from both teams, and we will be seeing some positional swap-ups. Ankro going to be playing the Pharah, hopefully. I think we'll be seeing the Mercy come out from Camboyo after they're able to swap. We'll see. I think Pharah is really good on this map. Maybe Afro going to be swapping to it as well. Definitely going to be seeing the Mercies come out if we do see the Pharah.
Definitely. They're going to need an answer to that. Both teams are running a Pharah at the moment, but only one team kind of has an answer, and that's Dismiss with Cry on the Hanzo. Hanzo's not too much of an answer to Pharah. He is kind of hit scan, kind of not. So they're going to definitely have to try their best to take him out. Angro finds a pick on the JD already. Poops him off the map. Nice.
Big play. That's a cap from them already. They just couldn't take advantage of that. Oh, actually faded.
Ooh.
Yes. That makes it even. It's 5v5. They can contest this.
It is 5v5. It seems like Miss want to play a little bit more passive, though. They're going to try to go to the point right now. They do have 5-5. You do have Afro who find a picks on the Ankro average. JD does find one as well. Cry finds it onto Default. It's looking good for Dismiss. They might be able to take this point right back.
They will. It'll be super quick, too. Only 11% for Citizens. Great pick onto the Pharah. It's often really hard to kill a Pharah as a Pharah, but you do see a lot of those Sky battles coming out, and Avro looks like he's coming out on top. Both these Sigmas really need to watch out for boops, though. They seem really susceptible. And just a really good play, saving the point from Faded. That Arisa Halt's doing a lot of work here. Oh.
That's a good pick coming from Dismiss. They find two. Yeah, definitely in the moment of Citizens, you want to play aggressive here, but you just really can't that Hanzo, just keeping the long range distance and taking damage just from that far away. You just really don't have an answer on Doomfist. But it seems like Default's going to go to Tracer at the moment, so that might give them a little bit more breathing room. Hanzo.
Yeah, I honestly think the Salieri on this Wrecking Ball just not doing too much. They're going to try and go for this kind of dive variant where Default is going to be playing the Tracer instead of the Doomfist. It looks like Salieri will be swapping to the Risa with a lot more shield, a lot more utility, and a lot more survivability on that Risa. The Fortify doing a lot of work, especially versus the Pharah. Default swapping to the McCree to counter out that Pharah, but so many ults coming out from Dismiss side. And we're already at 70%.
Yeah, you definitely, I think this Orisa is definitely a welcome addition outside of Citizens. You really kind of need that just to be able to push in. It seems like they're going to be able to push in. Here comes the Dragon, however, from Cry. Finds one on the Default. Afro finds one as well. Miss throwing so much. They're just holding this point beautifully. How much
they are, and
on the side
we'll be seeing a swap up. Salieri will be playing the Wrecking Ball, trying to touch the point. Default on the Tracer as well, going back to it. A lot of ultimates, 5 ults on Dismiss side though. Oh, no.
Ooh, Cry finds the pick on the Ankro. But here comes a barrage from Afro, finds one as well, but it seems like Citizens is just losing numbers by the second. And it's like Dismiss is gonna take this point too.
Yeah, dismissed dominantly, uh, destroying citizens on that last point of Lijiang Tower. They just outcomped citizens, and citizens, while default does get the play of the game with that Death Blossom that won them that entire fight. It's insane coming from him from the top rope.
You even see the pull from the Orisa that even set that up even beautifully. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it was all they had, and they managed to secure it. But maybe all they had is not good enough, and they need to step it up for these next maps. You saw it was just so close that very first point, and as you kept going through Lijiang Tower, Dismiss just looked a little better. And coming to this next match, you need to be more aware of the abilities that they're using. Citizens cannot take Dismiss lightly, and we will be seeing some map pick and bans here.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I feel like
interesting.
running the Wrecking Ball on second point game kind of just what messed them up a bit. You kind of need that Rissa Sigma kind of combo. Dismissed had that, and they were running that beautifully, but you still had this Wrecking Ball who was just trying to find some value, and it didn't seem like they had it, and they didn't have the shield sustain to just hold the point.
Yeah, they were compositionally swapping up all over the place coming from citizens on that garden map. You saw the Tracer trying to come out. They were trying to go for some dive variant, and then Salieri had swapped to the Orisa. Maybe some communications errors from citizens, and then we saw the third fight of the map actually taking place at like 70%, which is like you need to be able to get onto the point a little faster, and you need to be able to swap up your comps a little faster. I think citizens will be coming to this next map kind of more motivated to stick to their own game plan instead of swapping things up on the fly. The Doomfist and Reaper seem to have been working. It just that initial pickoff coming from Dismissed and being able to cap the point with Afro's Farah, just doing so much work. Sorry, that was Cry's Farah, doing a lot of work there.
Yeah, both teams just had some amazing boops coming off the bridge, and even the pulls from the Orisa.
Yeah, both Orisas have been really good in this game. Both trying to sustain themselves as much as possible, but also making sure not to die very early on. As the Orisa, you're the source of like half the shields in these team fights when it comes to the Sigma Orisa comp. You can't die early. You also have to make sure that you heal for your Moira. The Moira is the main source of healing, and while Lucio provides a lot of utility and some aura healing, like it's not going to be enough to sustain you if your Moira goes down immediately. You need to be able to heal for them using those halts. The halts and punch combo has been a really staple combo that a lot of tier 3 teams have been trying to practice. Looks like we will be going to King's Row. Dorado will be banned. That escort map, so we will be going to a hybrid.
Dorado.
Yeah, really excited to see King's Row. A lot of people call it Scrim's Row. It's a very popular map, just like Lijiang. Can't say this favors either team, but we will be seeing more of that Sigma Orisa, Moira, Lucio, and Doomfist Reaper. I'm sure on both teams, actually. Looks like we'll be getting to the map very shortly.
What was weird is I kind of wanted to see Mei on Legion, but neither team just pulled him out. This Mei was kind of kept in the back, but they did run Doomfist. Doomfist is something we've seen a lot more. Doomfist kind of Reaper is kind of a weird combo, but they do have both that aggression that you need.
I think that both teams they've been practicing Doomfist a lot more than they've been practicing Mei. We saw the Mei temporarily come out on Lijiang Tower on that night market map, but it didn't do much. And when you don't get that initial start that you need, that initial pick off of Mei, it just isn't as versatile as a Doomfist would be, especially with that new combo that a lot of people have been trying to capitalize on, that halt and punch combo. It's really potent. If you get the right amount of people in it, you just do so much work, and you can pick off the Lucio and the Moira and basically win the fight almost immediately. I'm calling it. We're going to be seeing those Vera comps come out. Maybe Noctis will be playing the VAP on this attack, but I think not. I think we'll be seeing those 6 heroes exactly.
Baptiste on King's Row attack is kind of a nasty combo. That immortality shield onto the wall so your team could just be a little bit more aggressive in that choke is something that I've seen before, but I don't know, like you said, if Noctis is going to hold on to it or is he going to swap it up at end, but I think he's going to hold on to it at this point.
I don't know. They need the utility from the speed boost, or, you know, citizens are going to be able to just speed boost onto them, and the Reaper's going to be able to do a lot of work. You're enabling your Reaper with the Lucio. That's why Lucio is being picked. The Beyblade comp is kind of back, right? You speed your Reaper in, and then you Death Blossom, and you get all of that damage with the speed and utility, and the boops coming out. And we will be going to those 6 heroes, like I said. Smile.
Ooh, big brain, 200 IQ.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a Doomfist coming in from both sides. Afro looking for the punch, finds it, tosses
Default.
them across the wall. Default finds a pick once again. Default finds 2 on the disc.
Defaults.
Oh, it's looking really good for Citizens at the moment.
And that was kind of a positional mistake from Dismissed. They actually scouted and saw. They threw a Hanzo arrow and noticed that Default was there.
And it was just like, he's not going to do too much
I
damage.
was mistaken. They threw a Hanzo arrow from spawn, actually, so they didn't know. Default will be going on another flank here, right past this first gate. They spot him. Gonna try to capitalize it. Don't get anything.
Pull back. Ankro finds a pick on the Noctis. This could be the opening they really need. They're looking for another punch. Camboyle does find a pick on the Cry. That's both Cry down and Noctis. So Noctis will be able to get back, though. He can use his speed boost on Lucio to just come back into that fight. But it seems like Default's just going to pick it up once again and just kind of be just the front force of just the whole team and holding them back.
Yeah, really good plays coming out from Citizens here on this defensive side. They have the ultimate advantage as well. Got a lot of ult. The Coalesce is going to be a really big one, and now the Doomfist can be more aggressive with that Meteor Strike.
Definitely here. And speaking of Meteor Strike, here it comes. Looking for a pick here.
Oh,
Goes on
the back line. Oh,
Gets taken down. Cry finds the pick on the Sayumi. This isn't looking too good now. You are losing people by one. You do lose. Default's still there, however. Default's been able to pull up these fights. Can he bring it up here? He does have the Death Blossom, but he might just pull back. He doesn't have his team with him, so it's not really worth going for the Death Blossom. You do have Ankro in the back line trying to find the picks. Is he going to go back on that Death Blossom?
Can they touch?
It doesn't seem like it.
That was really unfortunate because Potion had died. Potion had gotten picked off by Ankro, and as the Reaper and Doomfist, if you kill the Moira, you basically won the fight for your team, even if you die. The Moira is more utility and is worth more in these compositions than the single DPS, and these Moira is like all of the healing, and when you take that out, you can basically clean up shop.
And definitely, Default even had...
Oh no.
Ooh, Death Blossom is here on Default. He could find a big pick here. He can find a couple, actually. Afro does find the punches, though, on Ankro. And on the Camboyo.
And
Afro's going in hard. He's going crazy. It's like a 3-5 tournament. Now, when we were casting some of these games, we've seen before on previous teams just some insane Doomfist coming from these tier 3 teams. It seems like Afro's about to join the ranks of them.
Yeah, he's looking really good and definitely able to follow through with the staggers there. Able to push the card a lot more than they normally would. This will be leading to the last fight for this point, potentially. A lot of ultimates coming out from Citizen's side, though, to play out with that. I mean, 6 ultimates. Here's the damage boost.
Coming damage boosters from both teams. The beat drop comes in from Camboyo and Noctis. You have a lot of ults coming in here. You both have Death Blossom, Meteor Strike coming in from both sides. Afro's 83 until their Meteor Strike. But you have Gravitic Flux as well. Ankro does find a pick on the Faded, but Cry also finds one. Purple cleaning up a bit. Yumi finds a pick on the Afro. It might be Simpsons taking back this point.
Yeah, it looks like they will. Gonna press their advantage with those ultimates, using all 6 of them. A lot of ultimates being used from Dismiss side, too. They actually return with 5, and Afro coming up on the Meteor Strike. Not the most impactful of ultimates, but they're gonna try and slow these fights down so that they can accrue some ultimate advantage of their own on this attack, and we'll see what happens. A lot of, basically all the cards being put on the table during that fight. They needed to try and stall out as much as they could. So no bars being held there. High ground coming from purple.
So many ults getting tossed in there. Here comes Afro with the Meteor Strike. Looking for the high ground, gets on top, but Seems like Ankro's not gonna have any of that. Runs off of the high ground. You do have Coalescence coming in for Sayumi. The team up just a bit more, but you have Coalescence coming in from Potion as well. Coalescence from both sides. You do have Ankro who's getting a little aggressive here, but they get taken out by Afro.
Big pick
Now you
off.
have some damage just being traded. They do take down Default. This is looking very good for the side of Dismiss. Finding a little bit more. JD does take on the pick the purple. Afro finds it on Sayumi.
Looks like they will be able to cap Dismissed. Fighting their way through that. I was going to say clobbering their way.
Clobbering. Huh?
They're just not a lot of ultimates being used, but now we have the ultimates coming up from Citizens, right? You have almost 5 ultimates. Sayumi gonna get her big ultimate, really big pick off from Default. Initially, now they're gonna try and stagger this. Yeah, they're gonna move on the offensive, gonna stay around this corner, play around sight lines here, and
Kimboyo finds the pick on the Cry.
yeah,
That's
he was
not something
trying
you see every
He
day.
was trying to hide because he was nearing the Death Blossom and he wanted to get on the flank with that Reaper. It is really potent to be on that flank. Default has been doing a great job of staying on these high grounds. Look at him. Oh, see, he was trying to go for a positional advantage. Gonna back off because he sees the rotation coming from Dismiss here.
Default's going back onto the high ground to the top right
Here we
already.
go,
They do
here we
have Gravitic Flux Death Blossom. They do have the
Watch
beat drop.
Default, watch Default.
They're gonna have to wait for that. They have Gravitic Flux coming from both sides. Here goes Default, and the back line goes for it. Gets punched out of his Death Blossom from Afro.
But gets the pick off, and that's all they need to clean up this fight. Citizens.
Gets a pick on the knock.
No, maybe I spoke too soon.
Smith looking big. Oh no, faded.
He did.
Faded pulls off Sayumi off the ground. Oh, that's too hard. Afro
Default.
finding it. Default. Even though he got hit out of his Afro. Hello.
Afro.
Default
Oh, man, this
finds
fight is
2
so
picks,
scrappy.
but Afro finds 2 more. Smith is looking good.
Yeah, get on the cart, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Citizens with their Reaper ult was kind of, they were in there, but then they got punched out of it by Afro. Afro's, I'm telling you, he's proven to be among the ranks of some of the greatest Doomfists we've seen in this series.
Yeah, keep an eye out for Cries. Death Blossom now.
Could be huge. They do not have beat drop on the side of Camboyo, so they can find this huge Death Blossom. Kind of in the background looking for it. I think he's gonna pop it off here. He does find purple. He does find Sayumi, and he finds Camboyo. That was
Default.
perfectly. That was actually perfectly set up. There's Afro going for the punch, and he finds it. Default tries to stall, but seems like this misses.
Beautiful play coming in from Cry. We saw it. Watch out for the Death Blossom. He gets a perfect one off. Taking out 3. Default trying to stagger. They're going to be capping the 3rd point with 40 seconds remaining, and looking pretty good for our Dismissed here. Able to fight their way through that 2nd point and onto the 3rd, and they're able to do the same. Really scrappy, back and forth fights all around. You can't get any better than this. You can't get any more back and forth than this.
Definitely, both teams are just so evenly matched skill. I mean, come on, you saw Afro on the Doomfist who was just getting picks left and right, but then you had Default just coming in from the backline and getting those picks on the Reaper.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been
both
so
teams-
potent, and the funny thing is you've actually been seeing Default with the flanking Reaper being more potent, but in that specific case on this push, Cry has been so good on that Reaper, being able to punish the abilities or the lack of abilities from Citizens and make clean work of that. Like I said, you got to watch out for the halts. You got to watch out for the shields as the Reaper, and you need to watch out for pretty much all of Sigma's abilities, because if he's able to absorb all of that damage, it's really bad for you. You can actually absorb a good amount and heal and get a 400 HP shield very quickly with Sigma's absorption ability.
Definitely, kind of like defense matrix in that way, except Sigma just gets those shields, and those shields are just game-winning in some senses, because they just give him even more sustainability to just keep staying in the fight.
Want to thank everyone for tuning out here. Almost have 100 viewers this tournament right now. It's so exciting to see people supporting Tier 3 here. Big rotation coming from Citizens. Nice
but
ult,
they do get
though.
hold. They do get the hold from the Orisa, and Afro goes in for the punch once again.
Yeah, Cry here trying to get on the flank, trying to get around these sightlines, but he's being forced out of position
They're just pushing up
Cry
there.
is just being chased. Oh my
Cry's
god.
just trying to find a place to set up, and Citizens ain't having that. They're just gonna go all the way in the high ground, try to set up the point kind of behind them.
Oh, defaults on the back line.
Good rotation.
Yeah,
You
they're
have
really
default on the
trying
back.
to spread dismiss thin here. There we go.
Looking for a pick here. Afro punches Ankro and just gets them both pinned to the ground. Very cool for them, actually. Very
Default
pick.
1 HP.
Ooh, he's got to get out. Their default gets taken down by Faded. Noctis takes down Purple, and it's like they're gonna have to regroup from that. Sayumi, however, does have the coalescence for next fight.
Yeah, so does Potion, though, and they're very even on ultimates, all things considered. Slight advantage all around from Dismiss, but I really like that rotation. They were trying to punish the Hanzo by constantly chasing him. Unfortunately, just got picked off from Cry. Cry's been doing so well with all of these heroes. Here's the Coalescences.
Coalescence coming in from both teams,
Laser
trying to find
beams,
some
let's go.
damage. Kind of like a laser light showing away. Yep. Ooh, Afro almost gets taken out there. He did have a lot of people on him. Here comes the Gravitic Flux coming in from JD. Meteor Strike coming in from Afro.
Takes down the damage booster.
And here comes the Dragon just cleaning up there. It kind of split Citizen in half. Oh, are they going to take out Sayari? They do.
They took out Salieri. They punished that split coming from Citizens beautifully, and they're going to be able to win another fight from that. Very similar ultimates on either side. They just have Faded's damage boost, and it's kind of unbelievable how well Dismissed are playing this defense. Potion, both teams coming up on the coalescences yet again. It always seems to be like a one-team fight ultimate, right? And there we go. It's the damage boost.
Here
Begin
comes
to
the
coming
damage.
out.
Coalescence once again coming in from Sayumi. Potions 97 to theirs. They can bring theirs in the fight, and that's what they do. You have the beat drop as well coming in from Noctis. Camboyo has theirs as well. Ankro goes down, and he's the only one with the Meteor Strike on the side of Citizens.
Oh my god, big turnaround. Afro.
Afro's Doomfist, I'm telling you, I keep saying it, I'll tell you again, his Doomfist is insane.
And they're not even going to get a tick. Citizens just doing so well. Noctis going to pick up Faded for this next fight. Minute left, meaning that could be coming down to the last fight here on this Dismissed defense. And so much work being done. Keep an eye out on defaults. Death Blossom, though, he's been so good with them lately. Here we go.
Here comes the Dragon
Oh my
right
God.
in the middle, doing so much damage, kind of split Citizens in half. Hines to pick on the Purple as well with that Dragon.
More Halt Punch combos. Oh no, Afro actually goes down. This could be huge for Citizens. Oh no.
Oh, but they take him out as well. So now Citizens just has kind of the scrappy fight. They do have this Sigma coming in. Gravitic Flux slams him to the ground, but doesn't find too much. Do have Default, however, is in the
GG
back
though.
line. Default with the Death Blossom,
Oh,
ready to
Noctis.
go. Finds it on the Cry, gets him there. This is looking like a huge turnaround coming in from Citizens.
Able to capitalize on the positioning. So it will go the way of Citizens.
We take this with only 7 seconds left on the clock. Absolutely huge, a big turnaround for them.
Yeah, this is kind of clutch for Citizens. They really needed that fight win there, and they're able to halt JD at a position and then take Noctis out as well to start that offense. They need to be quick with these fights, need to be able to finish this map, or they will go down, and then they'll be 0-2. This is a best of 5, so you don't want to be stuck at match point already.
Here comes a lot
Big
of ults.
Gravitic
Gravitic
Flux.
Flux, Damage Booster, Meteor Strike, everything going tossed into this fight. Seems like we're about even on both teams. They find 2 picks. Cry finds one on Sayumi. But it seems like Dismiss might have to pull around this corner. They are taking a lot of damage. They do have the beat drop coming in from Camboyo as well.
Default is trying to get some picks off.
But he gets taken out by Cry, kind of punished for that. Cry finds 2 pieces there. Camboyo also finds 2 picks. 2 picks as a Lucio. That's unheard of, but you know what? I'm here to see it.
Yeah, Citizens are able to fight their way to more point cap, basically. Going to be able to move the payload more. I think that fight was just all because of the positional advantage that you get from being on the payload, and that aura healing that you do get from being on it. A lot of ultimates on either side. Keep an eye out for Purple's Gravitic Flux. Needs to be big coming to this fight. Big pick off from Cry.
This is where the pick starts. You do have the Gravitic Flux coming in from Purple. Tosses them up in the sky, tosses them straight back down. But you also have a lot of ults coming in from the side of Dismiss. You have the beat drop here. You have the Dragon, but Purple and Crow, they both find 2 picks on people on Dismiss. Potion's down, Afro's down. Default goes in with the Death Blossom, but gets taken out by the Dragon, but Purple's going to pick back up on the JD.
They're able to grind their way to this second point and take it. Very scrappy engagement. Really nice plays coming in from Ankro and getting that initial pick off. Sayumi and Potion have the coalescences for the next fight, but keep an eye out for Faded's damage boost. This is going to facilitate this next defense. They need to make sure that they take advantage of this Orisa ultimate. JD has the Gravitic Flux too as well.
Ankro out of the fight, taken down by Cry. Damage booster comes in from Faded.
Power play.
This could be what Dismiss uses to take back the point. It seems like that's what they are going to do at the moment.
Really big fight win. Not using too much. And Citizens really don't have a lot to work with. You have the coalescences on either side, but they haven't been doing too much. And you now you have the Meteor Strike coming out from Afro. He's going to be a lot more aggressive. Look at him on this high ground. Oh, they already spot him here too.
They see him. They're trying to take him out of there, but he does have the Meteor Strike. Here comes the Gravitic Flux. Meteor Strike and Coalescence all used in the same pot. Kind of just pushing Citizens off this point, just showing them that they really can't do anything on here. The damage booster does come in, however, from the side of Citizens.
They didn't get anything from it though, and now Citizens have the power play.
They do have the Gravitic Flux coming in from Purple, but yeah, they definitely used a lot of ults there just to find no real product out of it. Here comes Purple with the Gravitic Flux, tosses them in the air, tosses them straight right back down. Citizens finding so much damage from that Gravitic Flux onto here. We see a lot of Sigmas use their ultimates. Sometimes they don't have the follow-up from their team. Meanwhile, Purple uses the Gravitic Flux. Citizens goes right there and they get the damage onto whoever's in the
I couldn't have said it better than myself. You didn't have the beat coming out from Noctis. You do now. They will have to try and use this to get onto the point.
Ooh, that punch comes in. Meteor Strike engage. Noctis comes with the beat drop. Sound barrier is up, keeping up everyone. But you have the sound barrier as well coming in from Camboyo and the Coalescence.
Potion gonna respond with another Coalescence.
Ooh, Purple finds a pick on the Cry. However, Afro might get taken out here. He has to come back. He's the only DPS there. Potion does find the pick on a Purple. That is a tank gone from Citizens, and they lose Ankro.
Default though in the back line.
Faded finds 2. Gravitic Flux cleaning it up. Default's not going to be able to get away from that. He does kind of Wraith mode out of it. Here comes the Death Blossom coming in from Cry and cleans him right off the point. A heartbreaking stop side of Citizen.
Dismiss are going to go up 2-0 in this series. Really nice fight wins and such clutch potential coming out from this squad. Cry doing a lot of work. Default with yet another play of the game, but his team, they're just maybe not on the same page when it comes to things, or maybe Dismiss is just having the game of their lives here. These are such great fights.
Both teams are just putting everything they got into each fight. And Purple, I mean, his Gravitic Fluxes are being followed up by his team, something we don't see a lot, but it's just so good to see. JD has some good Gravitic Fluxes as well, but it doesn't seem like his team's following up too much with it. But nonetheless, Smiths do take that point on the King's Row.
Yeah, we will be getting into another pick and ban phase. It was Dorado that was banned. So Dorado, Kingsborough, Lijiang out of the map pool. We'll be going into another pick and ban phase. So
Yeah,
you're going to have to select the next map, but before that, Dismiss are going to ban one.
Doesn't seem like they have the power. They have the power to bring this back from the brink of losing. I mean, we've seen it before. We saw them on point, like the second round of King's Row, where they seems like they weren't going to be able to bring that back. They weren't going to be able to touch the point on point 1. But then you just saw this huge turnaround coming from them, and they just got that point 2 minutes on the clock as well. They had a pretty good time bank, but it seems just at the end, the Smiths kind of stopped them in their track.
You're exactly right, Nooney, and I can't get any better than this. Even if it goes to a 3-0, this was a very close series, all things considered. We will be seeing more of Citizens, but I don't think we can count them out just yet.
No, definitely. There's some amazing talent on this team, and it would be just ignorant to count them out.
Yeah. Gibraltar will be banned. Anubis will be picked from Citizens. Gonna be going to his assault map type, and I'm really liking these
I'm like-
very
Yeah, the map pools. I'm really liking it as well.
Dismissed wants attack first. We'll be seeing that come from them.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Anubis kind of gives more to this Barrett play as well as the Symmetra play. We've seen a lot of good Symmetra on this. Teleporters and the turrets on that bridge kind of just go together beautifully.
They really do. I got a couple of shout outs while we're waiting for teams to get into the matches. Got to make sure that our producer knows to swap the map.
Definitely, and we do have a bit of a cheeky kind of little thing here. It is September. I know your favorite streamers have been telling you this, but here we are telling you once again. It is September. Subs are 20, or is it 50% off, right? So they're $2.50.
Yep.
Those go to helping us here just support tier 3. We get these tournaments on, that gives us the prize money, and that even gives us more emo slots. Recently we have unlocked I think our 3rd emo slot, right? So that's what we're just saying. If you would like to support us and support tier 3, half off. I mean, come on, baby. That's just $2.50. That's less than a cup of coffee. So definitely, if you want to, you can go ahead and support us. And we also have something else here called the Twitch MVP system. On the bottom of the screen, we have who you can vote for, who you believe is your MVP of the match, of everything.
Yep. Go vote at the Twitch panel on the bottom left.
Down there, just vote for
your
us.
most popular player. You can do that. You can vote for Sayumi, who I'm sure is very popular in the tier 3 community.
Definitely.
Also, I just got a note from production. We are 2 subs away from a 4th emote slot. So support tier 3. We're not getting paid to do any of this. This is all towards the production of this, and we want to make sure that the production of these tournaments goes on for a very long time. We've been casting this tournament series for about 5 or 6 months already, and
Yeah, definitely a pretty long time.
This is I personally love this tournament. Used to be called the Watchers Brawl. Now it's Star Esports, and I personally love it. Refused, who is our producer, who is also the tournament organizer, is always on it when it comes to the production of these things, scheduling. He does this all as kind of like a one-man show, and kudos to him. Make sure to support in any way possible, guys. This is definitely worth it, and you'll always be seeing more content coming out from this stream in particular. So make sure to follow, and if you have some extra money, definitely support by subscribing. Already getting off in the match, Dismissed are going to be attacking here with Citizens on the blue team defending. We will be seeing a very similar comps from the last 2 maps here. Ankro getting super aggressive, and the rotation coming out from Dismissed.
Yeah, he almost pays the price for that as well. Gets dropped to half health. He's being pretty aggressive, but that's kind of what Ankro's Doomfist playstyle has been. Especially, even on Doomfist, you do have to be aggressive, but he seems to bring back a little bit more fire with him. He goes in for these picks.
Bit of a stalemate here. Big damage from Afro, though.
Citizens kind of getting pushed back into the room in that bridge there. They do get the punch on the JD, brings him all the way back to almost that health pack room there. And this is just a very even fight, but Noctis is going to find the pick right there. Afro finds one as well. Looking good for the side of Dismissed at the moment. And they take down Default. Cries in the backline, just taking out both supports. Purple gets taken out in that room. He's all by himself, and there's no one to help him.
Big fight win from Dismiss. They're able to take the first point in a minute, giving them 3 more on this 2CP map. Patch has changed a little bit in the past few months. You're only given 3 minutes to cap point B. They've made 2CP a little less boring and a little more interesting. Default on the high ground. Gonna try and flank here. See what they can do. Coalesce is coming out from Potion. Here we go.
Ooh, here comes the Meteor Strike coming in from Afro, being very aggressive here. You do have the Coalescence as well. Citizens gets tossed up in the air. Worth that Gravitic Flux. Ooh. Purple finds it again. Default finding the damage. JD's just a little slow on his Gravitic Flux here. He's not going to have it to fight, and he does get taken down. Seems like Citizens is going to be able to retake their point.
Yep. Now they're going to be able to defend this. Both Death Blossom's available for either team. Salieri with the initial damage boost ultimate. That'd be in play here. Both Doomfists
Salieri has just been getting these damage off immediately. They've been getting them a lot faster than Faded has, in fact.
No, Faded is almost up to it. We'll see what they can do. Oh, big flank.
Ooh, Death Blossom, Gravitic Flux, Default finds 2 with the Death Blossom. Salieri finds 1 with the Faded. Ankro finds a pick on the Potion. Default picks up the pick on the Cry. Citizens is being a lot more aggressive here. And it seems to be turning out in their favor.
Yeah, they are a little more aggressive, but they did use 2 major ultimates in that fight, and that was very quick engagement. JD just ended up using the Gravitic Flux, and as we've seen in these tournament series, the Gravitic Flux really doesn't do a lot. It's more of like a CC ability than it is damage, right? And you're trying to get people away positionally from the circle that you're trying to ult on. 4 ultimates coming out from Dismissed, and they got a power play here.
Ooh, here comes the Meteor Strike coming in from Ankro. Goes back, finds some damage, and goes right back to his team. Oh, you have Cry in the backline. They have Death Blossom. Gets kind of pushed back here, but they do have the damage booster coming in from Faded.
Sound Barrier, Camborio.
Ooh, it's looking clean. Here comes that Death Blossom that we've been hearing so much about. But it doesn't have too much value. Afro is picking it up, however, finding just all the damage that was on there and picking it right back up. Afro getting 3-piece pick. Absolutely huge.
Punch missed, but they're able to clean up the Moira. Default going down, and now they're just trying to stall. They need to get onto these stall heroes. Purple needs to get onto the point, and his team's dying so fast.
Ooh, Gravitic Flux tosses him in the air, takes him right back down. Purple's just trying to stall as well with Camboyo here, but it seems like they're going to be taken out 1 by 1.
Got the May coming out on the field from Default. Need to clean up quickly from Dismiss, though.
Ooh, JD finding 2 picks here. Afro finding another one. It's not looking too good for Citizens. Dismiss do take this point as well.
Just under 3 minutes, too. Little suboptimal stalling. I don't think that they thought that they were going to die so quick, but the focus coming from Dismissed is you cannot dismiss this team. Got a couple of subs. Pleb GG and the Madhouse subbed. Thank you guys. I think we've just unlocked another emote, so thank you guys very much. And we have Bam1 rating with 10 viewers. Really nice coming from you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. A little bit less than 100 viewers right now, and man,
we did it. We did hit 100 viewers earlier, so like, you know what? Ooh. It's good. It's good. This is what we like to see. We always average about 30, 40. Just having 100 or even like 80 is just incredible for teams as well. It just gives them that huge boost of confidence, saying like, "Hey, Tier 3 is here, and it's people want to watch it.
Yeah,
and they want to see what they can do."
It's so nice to see so much support for the scene, and I can't thank people enough just for stopping by and watching. This is always a joy to be casting these tournaments. This looks really good for Dismiss, though. I'm really hoping we get some more maps, and not like I'm hoping for Dismiss to lose. It's just I want to see some more of this amazing Overwatch that we have. You know, I honestly, a lot of people are kind of tired of Orisa and Sigma already, but I honestly think, you know, the Tier 3 scene, we're seeing so much good stuff come out from these players, and so many cool plays coming out from Afro and Cry and Default and Ankro as well in these DPS plays. Cry will be swapped to the Widow, by the way, to take a position here on the high ground. Gonna go for some plays. Swim down to the low ground.
Cry on these sniper heroes is kind of his thing right now at the moment. We saw him on Hanzo a lot, and he was getting some value on that. So I definitely want to see what he can do on Widow here.
The Widow is good on this map particularly, but just not good into these double shield comps. Cry will be trying to take a crossfire position as they move onto this point. Cry needs to get the pickoffs.
Here comes the punches. You have Default going from under, but he's going to get caught out. Going to go teleport to the top left. He does get that teleport off, so that is good for him. He does have the high ground advantage now, but Afro is just like, hey, buddy, get off. That's not yours. You can't be up here.
Afro going to take that high ground. Salieri getting quite low. Here's the coalescence from Sayumi.
Ooh, we have a lot. We have coalescence coming in as well. We have Afro trying to go for these picks here. He almost gets caught out there, but he does go back to his team. No one's been dying. There's a lot of... Oh, there goes Cry as soon as we say that. You do have a lot of damage coming in from both. Have a lot of ultimates actually being popped off because this is such an aggressive fight that they're building it so quickly.
Citizens are going to take this slowly. They don't have the Reaper advantage, that self-sustain, and the big positional healing and chunking damage coming from a Reaper. Cry's going to be swapping on. They're going to try and stall from Afro, but he's halted, taken out of there super quick. And a minute and a half is all it took for Citizens to cap. I think they realized that Widow was a bit of a dud when it came to that defense. Really good push for that tempo on Citizens' side. Really good plays coming from them. They got a lot of ultimates in tow. That's almost 6 ultimates there on Citizens' side, so be mind for that.
Here comes the damage boosters from both teams as well. Coalescence and both Gravitic Fluxes tossing them in the air, taking them down. Purple's 91 to his. He really needs to get this Gravitic Flux off here. You do have the Meteor Strike coming in from Anchor, but it seems like Dismiss is cleaning up this point.
Yeah, big defense from Dismiss. Yeah. Not too many ultimates committed from Citizens, though, so they will have some for the next fight. Purple getting a bit staggered, though. Really nice play coming in from Noctis to spot that and take advantage of the slow, methodical play coming from Sigma. Sigma's a very slow hero when it comes down to things, and definitely if you are on a power play like Noctis was, you want to make sure that you boop him into your team, that you get those staggers in, because it is very good for your team to get those that time advantage there.
Yeah, definitely. And it seems like here comes another Coalescence and Meteor Strike. Afro finds a pick on the Anchor as well. As the Coalescence coming in from Potion, just trying to keep the team up during this kind of very aggressive fight.
Dismiss is gonna slowly win this out. Gravitic Flux from Purple just wasn't enough value, and they're gonna be able to get a bunch of these staggers here. Trying to go on to Purple, and yeah, gonna get him as well. Playing
Punched
really
by
aggressive.
Afro.
Already getting the pick off onto Ankro as well. This is just so good coming in from Dismissed. A pretty much brand new team coming out here, and they're doing so much work. They're messing up all of these good tier 3 teams. It is so awesome to see this new talent. Really hoping the best for them come, open division and trials here. It's looked like a very, very strong team.
Definitely. I mean, Citizens have been bringing it back, however. I mean, on that first point, they did
Good
show some
rotation onto
aggressive.
the point.
They're ready to the rotation. They do have Coalescence, and Default has a Death Blossom. Default's Death Blossoms have been proven to bring some damage into this fight, and that's what it does. Potion does take him out, but he does find a 2-piece. Another Death Blossom coming in from Cry, cleans it up on the Camboyo. And it seems like Dismiss are going to hold this once more.
Yeah, another hold coming from them. Really potent Coalescence coming from Potion in that fight. Saving it for a little bit later. Faded maybe using that damage boost coming out from Marisa a little late. But they're able to take the fight regardless and win off of that. Already less time on the bank coming from Citizens. They're going to have to push the advantage, and soon. Or they will be stuck at a really big time disadvantage, even if they cap.
Yeah, definitely. You do have 225 opposed to almost 3 minutes, 259 coming from the side of
Rotation around the ruin side. Big pick off.
Ooh, Default finding a pick on the Afro. They don't have that damage, but you do have the Meteor Strike coming in from Anchor as well. Gonna go slamming down, trying to find something here. It seems like they're gonna take down JD here, and that's what they do. You do have the jump
from Citizens.
You do have the damage booster coming in. Default finds 2 picks and the beat drop. This is looking good for the side of Citizens. Dismissed. They do have the Meteor Strike, but it gets taken down as well. I don't think they're going to have enough time to just kind of stall this. They're going to get pushed off the point. They're going to get Gravitic Fluxed off of it as well. 149 to 259 for us.
Yeah, a bit of a time disadvantage for Citizens, but I love that play. I love the methodical gameplay. They chose to take out JD at the start of that very first fight there. Instead of just crowding onto point, went for the pick-off that they needed, and it definitely worked for them. They were able to play more as a team that we've seen in this series, and got a couple more subs. My boy Syphate going to be able to sub, and Bane1 with the tier 1 as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting tier 3. Love to see that. Thank you guys.
You loved it. You absolutely.
Will be Bane1. I think it was a typo that first.
Tier 3 doesn't get enough love, man. We just got to give it some more, you know?
Yeah.
Especially as like with gameplay like this from teams, dude. You just got to give them that love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this has been a great series, and I can't wait for the next one too. We got Bermuda Academy versus who do we have? All right, let me get in this up. Bermuda. I had it here a second. Versus Aptix Esports. It's been huge. Yeah, Aptix are amazing. They've actually won a couple of Watch Your Brawls before this was Star Esports. They won a bunch of them, and will be a really big match because Bermuda are coming in huge in this tournament. A big play from Bermuda contenders team to pick up a tier 3 org now. Formerly redacted, they won the last Star Esports tournament. Afro getting caught out of position though. This is so good.
Taken down as well. Citizens have the pick, and they can be aggressive on here. I mean, there's nothing really stopping them. They don't have Afro on the Doomfist. Just basically just keep them away with those punches. But ooh, Noctis does find a pick on the Camboya, but Default already find one on the Faded, and Ankro finds one on the Potion.
Trying to do the best with what he can on this Hanzo, but Default is getting the picks, and Citizen's going to be able to cap this off. Don't think there's going to be any more contests.
Purple finds two as well. Citizens just need to get as much time as humanly possible. They are down to a minute against 2:59, so they really just need to try to find a way to get this point as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, well, they will be given another 30 seconds to cap this second point, meaning that we will have 2 possible fights if they can speed this up. I definitely think they should go for an economy push here. They don't have the ultimates exactly to storm onto the point and go for it. They need to take this fight quite slow, I think.
Definitely, with 1 minute, this might actually just be their only push here if they can't take it immediately. You do have the Coalescence, however, coming in.
Potion's getting theirs, though, very quickly. Gotta be able to coalesce
That's
right
where
here.
theirs comes right here. And if Dismiss want to do this, they can be super aggressive on this fight and basically stop this push in its tracks. Cry does find the pick on the Default. Cry finds 2 on there. Anko does take him down, but Afro picks it up once again with another 2-piece.
A decent push. That was kind of the best that you could ask for from Citizens. You have a bunch vaults now for the next fight. You knew that you weren't going to win the fight necessarily with Coalescence, but you got Potions out of the way as well. And Sayumi's closer to hers, so they're going to be getting an advantage here. Have the Meteor Strike. They have the damage boost coming up. Faded has the damage boost to respond as well. There's the Gravitic Flux. This is coming out really early. Oh, they're trying to stall.
Uses that, but he finds 2 picks off of it. Cry does find 1 as well. But here comes Default with his Death Blossom, but you also have Cry in the backline with theirs who just clean it up.
It's just Purple left on the point. Trying to stall.
Cry cleans it up, finds another pick. Cry's 90 to their Death Blossom as well. You do have
they touched
a Meteor Strike coming in from Afro. They did touch, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold because Cry uses his Death Blossom here. And I think that might be it for Citizen.
Yeah, they really tried. They gave it a good college try, a good effort, but just wasn't good enough. Citizens gonna take 3 points, and that's it. So 3 minutes, you gotta hold. You can still tie. You can still tie this match, this map, and be in the series. But you can't lose. Citizens can't lose, or they will drop to the lower bracket in this tournament.
Yeah, but it seems like Citizens, they have these moments of where they just kick their foot in the dirt and they just get a complete turnaround. Just do a complete 180 and just get that point, which we saw on the first point here. They just went super aggressive after they got a pick on the Afro, and Afro being out of that fight just made them realize, oh, they don't have their main damage dealer. We'd be as aggressive as we want, and they took that beautifully.
Similar heroes coming out from both sides here. Cry might be taking the Torb here. Where's Ankro? What is he doing on this defensive side? Really hope he's around from Citizens.
He went to take a bathroom. He'll be back 5.
Oh, nope. He's right there on the Doomfist. He'll be able to punch his way to the point. Might not be able to take high ground, but he will be there.
We do have
similar
Doomfist.
comps. Yeah, similar comps coming out from both sides here. Here we go.
You have the Doomfist v Doomfist and Reaper v Reaper. This is kind of what we've been seeing recently. We've been seeing it a lot being played during this complete series, so I definitely think it's just kind of a staple at this point. No one really swaps it out. Afro gets pulled out of there, but he gets right back into with his team. The Smiths seem like they're going to take the high ground up here. They're going to go to the top left of the Hell Pack room and try to find at least a really really good pick here. They have to find it. Do have Afro, who kind of has that ability to just get one punch pick out of this fight. But it seems like JD's just kind of
trying to
staying
flank
back
the
a bit.
side, but being forced to break away.
Ooh, Cry's finding some damage, but gets hit with the boulder coming in from purple. They do find Ankro. You do already have Potion Whip. Their Coalescence. Noct is finding 2 out of this fight as well.
Oh no.
And there's Afro getting the punch there. It's not looking too good.
Oh,
This might actually be a turnaround. As soon as I say it's not looking too good for the side of Citizens, they just find some picks right out of their pocket. Default
Really
86 of that depth loss.
they really turned that around. I think Camboyo got a really nice boop and displacing Dismissed, and they're able to hold on. And now with the ultimates they've accrued, they might have an advantage coming in to defend this point. Minute and a half remaining. That means 2, possibly 3 fights if they're lucky and they speed these fights up. Gravitic Flux might come through. Oh, Ankro almost one-shotting Cry there.
Almost getting the punch. He just gets pulled back just a little bit. Here comes another pull as well.
Nope.
Seems like Dismissed are trying to take their time here, but they do have almost a minute 20 here, so they kind of have to be aggressive. And it seems like this is where it is. You have the Meteor Strike coming in from Ankro. You do also have the Gravitic Flux coming in from Purple, but Default has that Death Blossom ready to go. But it seems like Citizen doesn't even need it. Are they going to be able to hold this?
Big hole coming in from Citizens. You can definitely tell that they have a second lease on life with the way that they're playing. Someone please heal Ankro a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little.
He's like 75.
Oh, you know what? The Lucio's taking the Moira back to spawn. They need to stall this fight out. Ankro's quite low.
Oh, here comes the Meteor Strike, but everyone almost on Dismiss are kind of low already. Here comes the beat drop coming in from both sides. Default already found his picks. Cry finds one with the Death Blossom. Death Blossom comes back right at him from Default. And Dismiss, they don't have much time. They only have 30 seconds, and they're already down out of this push.
Coming down to a last fight, all they have are the tank ultimates, and Sayumi has the Coalescence to try and heal up her team. They need to try and touch. Are they even going to be able to touch? Or are they going to be
13
displaced out of the way?
They might be able to touch with Reaper, who goes for the teleport, but
They
gets
won't.
almost stopped immediately. They have
Big.
Gravitic Flux. 5 seconds left on the clock. They need to go. Cry is able to touch that point. Afro also finds a pick on the Ankro. Could this be the turnaround? Afro finds another one. JD finds a pick on that. Afro finds 3. Cry. We thought they were down and out. They weren't even going to be able to touch the point. That's what we thought, but they just came back. Dismissed, doing so much damage. Cry and Afro both finding picks left and right.
Coalesce is just not good enough for Sayumi. They will cap this at 3, which means Citizens do not take this point. They can still draw. As long as they win this next fight, they are still in this game right here.
They do have the
Damage boost from Salieri.
They have the damage boost as
Gotta
well.
get in there.
They only got 10 seconds. I think Dismiss know this is their last fight. They have to just get on this point and fight as hard as they can.
Oh,
Cry
here we
gets
go.
absolutely punched into the wall by Ankro. Are they even going to be able to touch? You
Ankro.
have Noctis, who touches for a bit, but you have Purple, who's just doing this massive amount of damage. It seems like Citizen's going to be able to hold this point as well.
Big
That's
draw.
gonna be
Big
a
draw
draw.
for Citizens. They're still in this tournament. Still winnable for them. And,
Seems like we're getting a wish right here.
yeah. Default. 3 maps,
Once
3
again.
plays in a game. Are you kidding me? This guy's insane.
I mean, these Death Blossoms are nothing to mess with either. I mean, you can kind of understand why he's been getting played the game 3 times in a row.
He's being
definitely-
enabled by his team as well. Salieri has been damage boosting a lot of these Death Blossoms.
JD with the 3,000, or the 3,300, 127 damage
33,000.
block. 33,000, my mistake.
Kind of nuts. Faded also doing really well. 54% kill participation there. Really big plays coming from both of Risa's. Both of them really staying alive in these long drawn out fights and not dying off early is really helping them out. It's what's making this game super close.
Definitely. This just map on Anubis might be the extra gas that Citizen needs to just start up their engine to full power.
Citizen's going to be selecting the next map. There will be no map bans because this was a draw. We'll see what Citizens will pick. They have another choice of map, and maybe this is a turnaround for them.
Definitely, I
next
can.
map they can
I-
take this game, take this
I-
series a little further.
I definitely can see it from the side of Citizens. I mean, they've been having these really big turnaround fights where they just seem like they're down and out, but they just have one or two good picks and they just keep snowballing that back and forth.
See what the chat is up to here.
Hello, chat.
A lot of people hoping for the reverse sweep. Appreciate you guys stopping by. A lot of people looking for the reverse sweep.
I mean, I am too. I mean, come on, this is
Yeah.
kind of just the underdog story here. You get that beautiful draw, maybe you can just start bringing it back and take it down. Smith left.
Got a lot of fans of Bermuda that are waiting on the next match to start. Should be a little bit soon. I'm hoping it's a little later, to be honest, because this match is going really well.
Yeah,
A lot of
definitely. I
Miami
mean,
fans.
we have all of them, and we appreciate them. But I mean, we have to talk about some people. Who would you consider your MVP right now? True on this match.
Oh, that is
It's a hard choice.
It is. I would give it to Cry. His Flux DPS has been excellent here. He's been on a lot of different heroes. The Hanzo, the Reaper, the Widow at one point. I don't think the Widow worked out too well, and they had a little bit of an error with the Mei and Night Market, but they were able to claw their way coming back from it. And I think Cry has been doing excellently. What about you, Noonie?
Honestly, I mean, I've seen a lot of good Doomfist. I think you already know where I'm going with this. Afro might be my MVP. I mean, come on, he's getting these picks left and right for these chaotic team fights.
Yeah, we'll be seeing more of Control as we get into Busan. First point gonna be Mecha Base. Let's go.
Mecha Base, dude. What do you think about this map?
Mecha Base is all right. I like the base panels that always shift every couple of seconds or so. I
Yeah,
think it is
those,
like
those
8
kind of
seconds.
shield panels they kind of can win a
Blast
game or
shields.
lose a game. Blast
That's what
shields,
it's
yeah.
And
They
they
come
used to
up-
be really cool in the Diva meta because like you'd put a Diva bomb up and the blast shields would be up and the team would be like, yeah, we can just hide behind them and then
Just goes down. You're like,
blows down,
oh,
you die. Your whole
please
team
say
dies.
psych. Please say psych.
I'm normally like a tank player, so it is really nice to see both teams preparing similar comps on either side. Very meta compositions. We'll be seeing the same thing all of these maps, pretty
Honestly,
much.
What we
I
could
think
see
Cry
here-
has been the big flex player from Dismissed, but honestly, a lot of these players and teams have been practicing these same comps. They're just, don't change what isn't broken, right?
Definitely, and I was going to say that Cry has been their flex player, and I think he could be possibly running a Mei on some of these. I mean, we've seen Reaper Mei just being used a lot more throughout these kind of metas, so
If you're not running it now, you're never running it on this map.
yeah. You got to run it at the beginning, or you just can't really run it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a close fight here. You have the shields up. It seems like everyone's just trying to take down onto this choke. They do find the pick from Potion. That's very
How did that
good.
happen?
It's a lot of damage going through that shield. Sometimes your shield goes down and you can find just a lot of damage flying right through it.
Yeah, I mean, Default gets a lot of ult percentage there, but
Ooh, but he
gonna
gets
go
taken
down to
down.
Afro.
It's missed on the point already. They're going to try to take it right here. Noctis staying back so he can cap it. Oh, he can go back there, Lucio. What are you doing, Frog? Come on. Lucio players are just a little too fast. I don't
Whoa, whoa,
appreciate
whoa, 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 whoa.
Sometimes they're too hyper, man. They get
That
off
was
the
a
point before they
decolon,
even cap
but
it.
yeah, you're right, you're right.
I'm right.
We'll
Right.
coalesce.
Both coalescence going in. It seems like that was just kind of more for healing, less for damage. I mean, that's what your coalescence need to be for in these kind of fights.
Oh,
Ooh, Anko finds a
Big.
pick as well.
both Doomfists, actually.
Yeah, both Doomfists on each side have just been picking up picks left and right. They're really the breadwinners of these fights. Bringing just whatever they can to the game. Here comes Meteor Strike coming in from Ankro. It seems like he's going to try to chase JD there. Stops Faded before they can even get their damage booster down. Beat Drop does come in, however, from Camboyo. You do have Default with their Death Blossom. Ooh, and they do take down JD. Cry has their Death Blossom as well, ready to rock and load. But it seems like they're not going to be able to use this. They do have 50% on the point, but it seems like Citizens are going to take that right back.
Honestly, that was just a really good stall coming out from Dismissed. I think after that initial pick coming from Ankro, who's been excellent on this Doomfist. They dismissed, realized that they were going to lose that fight, so they slowly whittled their way onto the point. They didn't use too much. The Gravitic Flux from JD kind of flubbed, but there's Afro on that pick.
Right in the air. There's Cry with the Death Blossom. Afro
Afro.
finding the picks in this fight, however, finds 2 punches straight off the bat. Potion finds one on the Camboyo. Noctis taking down Default.
Afro.
Oh. That's
Those
just
initial
a beautiful...
picks, those initial Doomfist picks are what is really taking these team fight wins here. And Afro gonna get that first initial pick, gets a double kill in the first couple seconds of that fight. They're able to recap at 60%. 60%. No
60%.
ultimates though. Fight needs to slow down. They can't just let Citizens onto this point here. It's good that they're taking this higher ground and they're playing these fights a little slower. They need to fight now onto the point though, or Citizens will cap. Oh, there we go.
Ooh, here comes the damage booster coming in from Salier. They have it here. They really just need to find the damage. They have that extra damage in there, but they need to find the picks. Damage booster does get taken down. Oh, Sayumi finds a pick on the Cry. That is pretty big for Citizens.
But Dismiss are still on the point, and it's back and forth.
They're not giving up this point. They are being traded left and right. Coalescent gets taken down by Ankro, however. Absolutely huge coming from some Citizens. They take that point.
Bye, Noctis.
Bye, Noctis. See ya. One way bye.
And Citizens have a bunch of ults too. I think Potion was hoping that that fight could still be saved. Use their Coalescence a little. I'd say positively. Just was expecting the fight to be winnable, but it wasn't. Ankro was able to shut that down, and all they need to do is win that one more fight from Dismiss. Damage booster coming out.
Faded with the damage booster. You do have the beat drop, and you have Meteor Strike coming in from Ankro. Afro has theirs now. Here comes the Gravitic Flux, but it seems like Citizens are going to take this with that, that beautiful Death Blossom, get some damage in, but it seems like Citizens just put their damage in as well, just as a team, and takes that.
I agree. Definitely looks like Citizens are coming out on top here. However, they don't have too many ultimates. Same could be said for Dismiss, though. But I mean, I consider Afro's Meteor Strike to be a little more important now that we are coming down to these last few fights. If you can get a really key Meteor Strike onto Sayumi that doesn't have the fade, take down their abilities, you're able to win these fights outright. There we go, Afro.
Meteor Strike goes straight on him, gets pulled in as well.
Nothing yet, though.
Ooh, Gravitic Flux is coming in from Purple. Slams it straight to the
JD.
ground. Purple finds a pick on a JD. Afro's in the backline, however, going for the punches. You do have Cry with the Death Blossom. Finds Cry! Let's go, Cry. Finding 3 onto that fight. And it seems like this is the push that Dismiss needed. They're going to take this point. They only need to take down Purple. You do have that. So Yumi gets their Coalescent. Just can't hold up to it much longer. And it seems like
Big
Dismiss are
fight
going to take
win
this point.
coming out from Cry. Big Death Blossom, able to save that point for Dismissed. I don't think you could have gotten closer than that. We will be going to a second point. Whether it will be Streets or... No, it will be...
Temple.
Is this called Temple?
I believe that's
It's not
what's
called
the...
Shrine either.
Temple or Shrine? I think it's Shrine X.
It's not Shrine. I think it's something else. We're going to call it Temple, though.
We're gonna call it Temple. We're cool and we make up the rules of our own broadcast. We don't have no production. I'm unleashed. I'm a rabid dog who can say whatever he wants on
I used to call this
pass.
point Drum. I used to call
Drum.
this point Drum. And it will be Cry, possibly on the Widow.
Ooh, that's a bit of a...
Defensive, yeah, we've seen that on Temple of Anubis. Not
A
doing
bit of
too
a
much work, honestly,
pick.
but if Cry gets a pick off onto, like, Sayumi, this could be over.
Ooh, he's on the right side
Keep an
looking
eye
for
out.
it right now.
Yeah. Oh, the shield is
Ooh,
like...
JD's almost down. They go back to 10 health.
Oh.
Ankro does get taken down.
Oh.
It's looking good for Dismiss with a 2-piece on this fight. Default take down JD.
Default, though. Default.
Ooh, Default finds another one. I mean, I thought Dismiss were going to take that from those 2 picks, but it seems like Citizen's going to bring back with it. Cry finds the pick on the Camboyo. This is such a weird way to play Widow. This is like the aggressive Widow. This is like playing like Tracer as Widow. You're just in there and you're trying to find picks.
I mean, unfortunately, when when citizens are just right up in your face, the Widow isn't going to be able to do much. Widow needs time and distance to set up. And citizens know that, and they're just playing the tempo. They're playing so fast, and Default is getting a lot of picks, a lot of damage. He is all that needs to be. Oh, I say that, and then he goes immediately down. This is a big power play for
by the
Dismiss.
Widow.
Yep.
You do have the coalescence coming in from Dismissed as well. They find one on the Ankro. Faded takes down 2. JD finds another one. It seems like they're going to be able to take this point right back.
This will be a fight win coming from Dismissed, really clean. And now this is where the Widow starts to shine. You have all of these sight lines. The Widow could be anywhere. Going to be towards this tree here. Playing some sight lines. They recognize that they're there. Shield comes out from Sigma. This is what Sigma's really good at is, you know, Widow has a sight line, put a shield right there. Boop. Shield's gone.
Sigma just blocking a line of fire is kind of his whole stick at the moment.
Being dove on by Ankro. Really big play there.
They can't get out of that fight.
Yep.
Flux comes up, tosses them up in the air, and brings them right back down. Beat drop comes in from Noctis, however, helping Dismiss stay up a bit longer. Faded with the damage booster. Here comes the Meteor Strike. Default with that Death Blossom as well. Citizens might be able to bring this back. They're finding picks left and right from Ankro and Default.
And they will be able to hold on to this point. A little bit of an overzealous play coming from Dismissed. I think once Cry
gets
fell,
taken down.
Yeah, I think he probably should have just died on point. You used a lot of ultimates. Cry's going to be swapping to the Reaper. They're going to answer with the same comp. And now that Citizens have capped, they're 50%. They have a really big advantage here.
Ooh, here comes the Grid of Flux, but Purple gets taken down midair. But what you don't really know about Grid of Flux is Purple, even if he gets taken out, even though the ult gets popped off, it still keeps on going, even though Purple is dead.
It's not doing too much, though. Citizens going down really quickly, and Dismiss are going to be able to cap. Not even using too many ultimates there, just the Meteor Strike.
Yeah,
really
and the
fight win from them.
Dismiss seem to be able to bring back these fights that seem like they're gonna lose, but they just bring it back all the way.
Yeah, it's those neutral fights that they really do well in, and Cry is already halfway to Death Blossom. Will be really big if we can get those elongated fights. And Crow trying to go for another pick. Afro getting low. Oh, big flank coming in from Cry.
Here comes the beat drop as well. Ankro does find the pick on that Afro. But you still have the coalitions coming from Purple, but here goes Ankro getting 3 out of that fight. Beautiful.
Cry tries to go for the flank, but it doesn't work out. And the tempo fight from Citizens gonna be able to let them cap. They are capping at Dismissed 86% though. So all Dismiss need to do is win one of these next 2 fights. They have the ultimates to try and go for this too. I say wait for Faded's damage boost, that Reese ultimate to come into play, and then start to use the Glyphitic Flux. There we go. They're just gonna start out with it.
Flux. They're gonna go straight in with that. Wow. They find the pick on the Purple. That's kind of what they needed here. JD just getting aggressive here as Sigma, finding 2 picks. Afro in the backline cleaning up, but Default does take him down.
Oh, Default.
Death Blossom, but it gets almost taken. Ooh, he finds one.
Default.
Default's cleaning up here. JD's kind of the only one with potion on that point. You do have Cry who can come back here. They do have Coalescence. It seems like they're just trying to stall until Cry and Faded get back with their damage booster and their the Death Blossom. Seems he's here. He's waiting for that Doomfist to get back down, and he goes for that Death Blossom. Most of it does get eaten, however, from Purple.
Yeah. Salieri so low. Sayumi goes down. This could be the end.
Too good. You do have the beat drop coming in from Noctis. Purple goes down as well. Camporio just trying to stall for as long as they can. Go for a go, but he gets taken down as well, and it seems like Dismiss is going to take this point.
And they will take the series 3-0. The closest 3-0 that we've ever seen against Citizens. Really big plays coming in from Dismissed. Honestly, if you came into this tournament and you looked at this bracket, you would not think that Dismissed would beat all of these good tier 3 teams, but they are, and they're doing such a good job. The fights are scrappy, but you can tell that they're learning from every match that they do. And unfortunately, you know, Default, man, you're playing your heart out, and you get these amazing Death Blossoms, but Dismissed are just a little better, and the team play is just a little better. So we will be going to a post-match interview, hopefully from someone from Dismissed.
I definitely think Default was in there. He had about a 67 kill participation, 30 eliminations. He was getting most of the kills. He was there to be the main damage. And it is heartbreaking Citizens lost that, but they did show so much signs of life that they just kept going and going. And even when times looked tough, they just brought it right back. But in the end, it's just going to be Dismiss who takes that game all those rounds. Seems like your mic's muted, Chase.
Sorry, I was muted for a little bit. I said you couldn't ask for more. I think it's going to be amazing to see what Dismiss can do. I don't think Citizens are out of this tournament. We will be getting an interview with Afro. It's Dismiss Doomfist main. How you doing, Afro? Hello?
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 Hello, Afro?
Can I talk? Hello?
Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
you good.
Hello.
How you doing? How was that? Tell me how that game went for you.
We are so hyped right now. It is unbelievable.
You got the right to be, man.
Dude, that was a good feeling, man. That tweet I saw about like us being the dark horse, you know that's true. We're gonna win this thing. We're gonna take the whole thing. We're gonna win the gold.
Oh,
we're gonna prove
man,
ourselves
he's got
as the
this
best team in
hype.
tier 3! Woo!
I love it. I love it. I don't get this. We don't even get this much hype from like other interviews. We just interview.
Yeah, I'm kind of a bit excited.
You're riding that adrenaline from those Doomfist plays. I feel
You
like.
should be.
Oh yeah.
You guys played excellently. We saw a lot of diversity from you guys. Not really from you specifically, but from your hit scan player.
No shade. No shade.
Well, I mean, the
I'm
Doomfist
okay
was
with
excellent.
playing Doom. You know, I'm
Yeah,
perfectly
I mean-
okay with playing Doom 24/7. Cry,
It
on
was
the other
kind
hand,
of
Cry is
broken.
just really good at aiming and really good in general. So
Yeah.
we just let him like feel what he wants to do at the time, you know, and then we just work around it. And usually, like on King's Row, it worked pretty well. You know, we held him for what, like 3 minutes on first with the Hanzo. So
Yeah, that was so great. I want to give a kudos to that Kings Row map for Citizens that they rotated around that map and really went for Cry. But unfortunately, you guys do such a good job of splitting up and prioritizing targets, and we can definitely tell that your guys' that halt punch combo is on point when you guys have those initial engages. You are getting so many of those first picks, either onto the Moira or onto the Lucia. Like every single fight, it's so good to see.
yeah, Faded and I have been working on that synergy pretty hard, and I think it's safe to say it's finally starting to show off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm honestly just so happy to see this new budding team come out and start to not even just like close win, but actually like dominate these tier 3 teams that have been around for a while. It's so refreshing. Can you guys tell me like when you guys started and how you guys came to be a team?
Well, I've been in the tier 3 scene for a while now. Kind of just like mid tier 3, like mid high tier 3, like nothing crazy, you know. I've been around, but nothing spectacular. Last OD season, Noctis, Potion, and Jay were together, and they reformed to start a new team with them at the starting roster. And yeah, we just did trials like any other normal team, and eventually it's like we're satisfied with the roster that we have right now.
It's definitely satisfying, especially to see these wins. I wouldn't call this a stomp, but 3-0 says a lot. And holy moly, what a great pleasure it is to actually be able to cast these maps. Can you tell me the origin of your handle, Afro?
Afro, sure. I had on Xbox, my name was the Afro of Doom, and I made that when I was like 13, just because I happened to have an Afro because I'm half black.
Big brain.
And on Battle.net, that's too long by one character, so I just turned it to Afro, and it's just stuck.
Very nice, very nice.
Here we go. All good names come from Xbox Live. That is a fact.
Hell yeah.
God, please no.
Dude, my name was like Phantom Miner, right, dude? That was
Oh yeah. Yeah, you were still like Phantom Miner until like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I was like, oh, not anymore. No more Minecraft, but maybe I
Yeah,
should go.
everyone kept saying in like ranked matches that you sounded like McCree, so you changed your
Like-
name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a deep voice. Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
booming. Like, Jesus.
Oh my God, there was the funniest clip. So like Nudie and I go way back, and he is actually he's a personal friend of like these all the outcasters. What was really funny was during one of these ranked games he was playing. I think it was with one of the casters. I wasn't sure, but he was playing solo queue, or comp, and so I forget who it was. It was like some Korean guy.
Oh, I think I know what clip you're talking
yeah.
about.
It was on.
It
This
was,
was on Armor. He's like, "Oh my god, this McCree voice so horny."
I remember. I think I even have that clip somewhere about it.
Oh my god, it is the funniest thing.
Because I wasn't even prepared for it. I was just like, oh my god.
You were dying. This was on stream too. Oh my god.
It was great.
You were dying. I was crying. It was so good.
Because it was just so unexpected, but yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you
we're
for
gonna-
having me.
Yeah, good luck to you guys in the rest of the tournament. Sorry for that tangent. Sorry, Refused, for that being in the stream. But honestly, good luck to you guys. The best of luck coming into the winners bracket. 3-0ing both matches. Winnable and Citizens are not they're not bad teams. They're really good. And good luck to you guys in the rest of the tournament. We'll be seeing more of you for sure. Even if you guys end up going to the losers bracket, we'll be seeing more of you guys. So
Yeah, I'm
we'll talk to
definitely.
you guys soon. Any shout outs in particular?
Shout out to my boy Adai. He's not watching the stream. Shout out to everyone on Dismissed for just being really awesome teammates. Shout out to our coach Empress. Shout out to our VOD recorder Sage, and of course also Bucky Bear for being the sort of manager on the side.
All right. MVP votes coming in. Sayumi is our MVP from Citizens. Very popular.
Very popular, very cool. Citizens played a very good game.
Oh yeah,
So,
they did.
They definitely did. I want to say good game to
Default
them
is
as well.
nasty. Actually, I want to give a shout out to Faded on your guys' team. He's a pretty big fan of Chrono Dota, and we watch the same streams, and we are in the same circles. So shout out to
They're
you, bud.
homies, dude.
Afro, good luck in the tournament. We'll see you around, okay?
All right, I'll see you guys in the finals.
Take it easy.
Ooh,
Oh
see ya.
wow.
You got that confidence, and I love it. All right, Afro.
Peace, peace.
We'll see
Take
you
it
there.
easy. Noonie, you want to take us out of here?
I think you can do it. I think we both. We'll do a little bit at a time. You know what?
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you guys stopping by. We had so many teams
So
coming
many.
through. So many people watching and supporting us. So thank you guys so much. From the bottom of Noonie and I's hearts, I've been Sci-Fight. He's been Noonie. And have a good night. We will see you guys in 30 minutes as we start getting ready for our next match. It will be Bermuda Academy versus Aptix. Don't go anywhere. These are two amazing teams and another amazing match that we got to cast. Take it easy, guys.
We'll see you there. Bye bye.